Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Farrington. I am one of the programmers here with Out on Film, and we have just witnessed and get to witness and experience an amazing shorts program here called Lasting Impressions. I am very honored today to be able to get a chance to really dive into some of these filmmakers' work, dive into kind of the inspirations that lead them to this project, and most importantly, just share, just continue the conversation and share and proliferate these stories as we can and continue to in these most stressful times. At the moment, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our first filmmaker, Jace. If you don't mind going ahead and just introducing your film, and yeah, we can just start there.
Hi, okay. My name is Jace Greenwood. I am a producer, writer, and actor for The Cure. My film was kind of a long story short. I started writing this film back in 2018. I had my mom is very much in she's had to deal with strokes and stuff my entire life, and so I wanted to make a film based off of like what it really means to like trust the word of like our government, if that makes sense, and like what that really means when people actually do that, and the downfall of what actually happens when it comes to everyday people with the actions of our government. Not going to get political, but kind of what's happening right now and everything along those lines, it's making me furious. So I look at it as this, and I had a friend who inherited a production company, and her name was Molly Hall, and she inherited her dad's production company, and she wanted to bring it down to Atlanta. And she wanted to make The Cure her first directorial debut. And I'm all about like women directors, especially LGBTQI plus women directors, like who are part of the community and can understand like the struggle that the community goes through. And I just was tired of watching projects be made where the gay guy was the like blunt of the joke or the butt of the joke. And I just wanted someone who could be a kick ass and someone who lived in, a rural part of the country be represented. And that's kind of who I am as Jace. I was born and raised in Tucson, Arizona, and my dad was in the military. So I grew up in a very rural part of a bunch of the country. And my voice was always like, "You're too loud, stop talking, do all of that." And I just finally was like, no, I'm a creative, I'm an artist, and I work through my passion and my love for life and everything through my art. And that's kind of what happened in The Cure. And the main question people are asking is, what happens next? Are you going to make a second one? Are you going to make a part two? And I'm like, film requires money to make this and to make it beautiful and to tell your story. It's a lot. So that's my answer to them. But I do want to make a part two to The Cure. It leaves off on a cliffhanger when all of you get to watch it on October 1st. But it leaves off on a cliffhanger, and I already have part two written. It's just making it actually come to fruition.
Awesome. I'm hearing funding. Jace needs some funding. Thank you so much. We do need the part two. We do need to close that chapter and see how everything plays out in the end. So thank you so much, Jace. Casey, how are you? If you don't mind introducing yourself and your film.
Hi, yes. My name is Kasey L. Martin. I'm the cinematographer, director, editor of A Synonym for Art, Andriniki, which is a short documentary about my friend Andriniki, who is of trans experience. And we go through different aspects of his life through the origin story of his tattoos. I kind of forgot what the rest of the question
No,
was. I'm so sorry.
you're good. No, just introducing yourself. Where are you calling in from? Just where
Okay.
you are in your filmmaking journey. What kind of, if there was a catalyst moment that really inspired this film and really brought this film to the forefront.
Okay, yeah. So I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm originally from Virginia, Hampton, Virginia. But yeah, I'm based in Atlanta. The origins, the inspiration behind the film was really it was conceptualized during the pandemic.
Mm.
I was thinking a lot about legacy and, a lot of things were going on and there was a lot of uncertainty. And I was thinking about my own mortality and what I wanted to leave behind. I wasn't really putting out any of my own personal work. I was just supporting projects. So I was just really thinking about what I wanted to put out in the world. And that's where this series was birthed. So A Synonym for Art is actually a series that I am doing. It's an ongoing series where I'm interviewing my friends and family, and just talking through their life through their tattoos. A lot of folks in my life happen to be tatted. I'm not, but they are. So I thought that was just like an interesting thing to explore. Um, so yeah, it was birthed during that, and it's just like a love letter to them. So
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm like, oh, I need to go get a tattoo then because I also don't have tattoos, but I'd love to join that series. I thought your piece was very beautiful, and touching and poetic. So, thank you for sharing. Um, hey, I think the next person I'll call on is Greg.
Hi,
Hey,
hi, how you?
hey.
Hello, I'm in South Wales at the moment, at a family reunion, so I've just sort of rushed away to one of the bedrooms to say hi. Um, and myself, I'm producer, writer, and actor in Clutter, and Suzanne, who's also here with us, is co-producer also in the film. And I guess we talked about doing a short film together. This is our first film. We've done a lot of theatre together, and uh, and I guess my mum got sick about 7 years ago. She passed about 2 years ago, and I went home to look after her. And most of her friends, family, they all are very Christian. And I'm a gay actor who does a lot of drag, and yet these were my sort of my people in the sense that they're my family, my friends from back in the day. And some of the conversations I had with them, especially for instance, the trans issue is a big issue in the UK, as I know as it is in the States. And there was a lots of questions. It was like they felt like because I was a gay man that I would therefore have all the answers. And I just thought about making a film that looked at the experience of people who were not gay in contact with people who were. Um, and I was going to write something much more comical, because I like to laugh. And then my mother died, so the whole grief just that was all I was thinking about, and that's I guess where the genesis of the story of two people both going through grief in very different ways, and just examining that, or I should say loss, and how a gay character and a straight character who has very different opinions, how they would clash. And that was, I guess, the genesis of the story. And yeah, this is much more nervous than than acting in front
You're
of a
doing
camera. Yeah.
great. I was gonna say, first of all, Greg, thank you so much for one sharing your story. I know that must have been an amazing roller coaster of emotions, just kind of bringing that to the forefront. And thank you for using your own personal experiences and lives to really bring that to the forefront. I think that showed, and I think that did well overall for this film. Suzanne, did you want to maybe talk about joining this project, seeing maybe getting on board with such an intimate story and such a delicate conversation, and bringing that to the forefront with Greg?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as he said, this was our first film, and when I first read the script, which actually we had thought about making a film for a few years, but obviously getting the money together, getting all the cast and crew together, it's a mountain. So everybody, well done on making your films because it is an absolute mountain, and we've all done it, which is awesome. And so no, going back to the script, when the script came, I was just like, wow, this is a fantastically powerful story and also so relevant to everything that is going on today within the trans community. And I think I felt that we had to share this story. We had to share this story, especially at the minute, especially with things that are going on in the US, but actually and in the UK, as Greg said. So I was actually thrilled when I read it, because I just thought, wow, what a powerful, amazing story that we can now tell. It's taken us 2 years to do it, but we've done it, and we have applied obviously for quite a lot of film festivals, but was so that Out on Film was possibly, I think, our top, our number one. So when we actually got the message, we were like, no way, this is unbelievable. So thank you so much for letting us tell this. Yeah, it is. It's a powerful, emotional roller coaster, but also I think that it is a really, really positive. It has a very, very positive outcome, and I hope that everybody agrees with us. I hope that answered the question.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you so much,
No
Suzanne.
worries. No worries.
I think the next person I am going to introduce here is Roxana. Roxana, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you, everyone.
Hi.
So my name is Roxana Stroie. I'm actually a Romanian filmmaker, but I'm currently based in UK. Cicada, the film that I'm presenting at Out on Film, was my student film from NFTS, my second project that I shot there. And we didn't have a long time. Like I wrote the script. I'm the writer and director of Cicada, and I had like 2 months to start writing the script, to come up with an idea, to write it, and I think 3 months in total until we went into production. So it was quite intense to make it happen so quickly, but. I wanted to tell this story about the first love and about this boy, Gallup, trying to figure out what his place in this world is and trying to figure out what his sexuality is. And it's this coming of age kind of story that I really wanted to tell about innocence and about also the influence that friends can have when you're very young. And I came across this a very short haiku called Cicada, and it says, "Sick of his own skin, sick of his face, sick of the dark, he crawls
Mm.
outside himself to sing." And I found it very beautiful and very inspiring, and I wanted to write this story of Gallup, starting from that. And it's set in the rave scene, 90s rave scene in the UK. So it was quite a challenge. Well, it was also quite low budget, but I'm guessing we all struggle with that, so I'm not gonna complain. But it's also a fun story. It has a bit of a comedy to it, so I really hope that people will enjoy it, even though I'm not gonna be able to come to Atlanta to present it myself. But fingers crossed that the audience will like it. And I'm happy to be here, part of this interview, and alongside so many talented filmmakers. So thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, thank you, Roxana. That was beautiful. What a beautiful poem. What a beautiful story. I think you definitely hit the nail in the head for a student film and just kind of blew us away in terms of understanding identity and the high energy that comes with like youthful stories. It's always good to see more young folks on stage and being able to express themselves. So I thank you so much. And I believe our last two filmmakers are here with the same film. I could be mistaken, but I am so excited to introduce both Tova and Lauren. Lauren, if you don't would like to go ahead and introduce the film and your project.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Lauren Ludwig. I'm based in Los Angeles. Um, and our film is called Spit Me Out, and it's a queer love story about an assistant pastor in a small Texas town whose ex-girlfriend, who's a bit of a grifter, comes back in the middle of Sunday service one week and turns everybody's lives upside down. It's also a musical. So with a number of songs and even like a dream ballet. So yeah, so I came into this project when it was already deep into scripting, but we did some revisions together, but I'll let Tova talk more about the genesis of the initial idea. I'll just say that for me, what really drew me towards it was, in addition to just Tova's incredible voice as the scriptwriter and the composer and lyricist, Tova really wrote it all and is also the star, which is madness. But I was really drawn to the voice, but additionally, I just felt so much passion around telling queer stories that integrate spirituality and a exploration of how religion can be sometimes an oppressive force, but also sometimes a unifying force, and the complexity of that for queers. I find that really important. Personally, I'm also really interested in stories about queer people outside of large cities. I mean, I love stories about urban queers. I am an urban queer in Los Angeles, but I really also think there's just queer people everywhere. That's real and my queer propaganda, I would say. And I like we are everywhere. So I think it's really nice to tell stories that are in locations that we don't see maybe as often. So those are things that really drew me to it, as well as a deep, passionate love of movie musicals and a desire to see more movie musicals, but particularly like as many queers as have made musicals over the years, like we're inextricable from the history of the writing of musicals. There are so few overtly queer stories still in musical theater, which is kind of crazy. So it felt really good to contribute to shifting that lineage and tradition.
That was brilliant, Lauren. Thank you.
Tova, I feel like is going to say many more brilliant things, particularly about how it all came to start to be.
Sure. And Lauren, as ever in our shared creative field, you captured the essence of what this film is about and up to. So, which I'm always in deep appreciation of you. Hi, I'm Tova, and a few things I'll say about the Genesis. So, one part of it has to do with more literally how it came into being, which is originally I had a full length, one person solo musical stage show. And our amazing producers at the barn saw this show. It has three characters. One of the characters, they said, that character should have a film. And then and then I was like, yes, it should. And then that started the journey of what is that person's story, and it's all new material, new songs. It's her own whole story. But that was what set us into the creation of Spit Me Out originally. And in terms of the real heart of where it came from, I've experienced in my own life really what it's like to have your humanity questioned, what it's like for queer and trans people to have their humanity questioned, and how that happens in spiritual and religious spaces that are spaces of both, like Lauren was saying, such potential connection, but also such harmful exclusion and oppression. And one of the things that really came alive and was alive for me and really alive in this piece is both how we as queer people are harmed by that, but also all of the people involved, including the people who are doing the excluding, including the people who, for all the combinations of reasons, are involved in that harm, are also harmed by it. And
Mm.
so this piece really, it felt important to be with the humanity of all of the characters, including both the queer and trans people that are in this space, and also the people that are not only the cisgender heterosexual people in this space, but the people who are really directly causing harm, seeing that they're suffering as a result of it also, and that all of our humanity suffers inside of these structures of oppression and harm. So that was really alive for me, really alive in the piece, and it felt important to honor the humanity of everyone in the telling of the story.
Tova, that was beautiful. I loved that connection and the inclusion of that. I think it also works really well. It being a musical, having that ensemble body experience, I think definitely pushed this piece over to that acceptance point for us. So I thank you so much for telling that story. We've got a little bit more time left. I'm just going to repass this one question, which is our theme. Our theme this year is queer propaganda. If you could just tell me propaganda that you are falling for, or propaganda that you aren't falling for as it relates to our stories and our narratives. I think it's some of the brightest and the most talented folks here leading our stories and being able to kind of carry that mantle and carry that step. Just what kind of propaganda do you want to continue to push out there? What kind of propaganda do you think we don't have enough of? Don't boggle down on it. Any kind of free spit, I will let y'all popcorn it. Any messages you want to get out there in terms of our stories, things we may have heard before, things we may be tired of hearing, all that fun stuff. I'm gonna call on someone. Jace, I'm gonna bring it back to you.
Okay.
Full circle.
Yeah, I didn't want to jump in if someone else said something. I'm not falling for the propaganda that Black Lives Matter is non-existent anymore, and I'm not falling for the propaganda of Me Too is not in existence anymore. Just because there's no hashtags going on or something along those lines doesn't mean that people aren't still talking about it and how important it should be, and especially our media, and especially when it comes to making art.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Jace. Greg, are you?
Yeah, for me, it's very much this because again, being in the UK and in the US, and this idea that what's happening in the US won't come over here.
Mhm.
Some of it is already happening, and I think it's insane that one of our the members of our film won't come to the States because she
Mhm.
has F on her passport and she's trans, and it just it gets me so angry. It gets me upset for her and for and then also that I've got friends who say that they're similarly their trans friends won't come to the UK because now their passports have got their birth sex rather than their actual sex on their passports. But yeah, so I just keep fighting the fight, I guess.
I thank you, Greg. And that's a great piece there. Kasey, do you want to tag in next?
Yeah, I would say the propaganda that I'm not falling for is that Black queerness is only struggle, pain, or joy. I think there's so much beauty, or struggle, pain, and loss, excuse me. There's so much beauty and joy in community and in our experiences. And I think a lot of projects that get funded just focus on like a tragedy narrative. And I think, it's important to showcase the full spectrum of our experiences.
Lovely, so lovely. Thank you, Kasey. Roxana, anything you might want to add?
I mean, some of the things were already mentioned, but I guess I hear a lot people saying like there's enough inclusivity right now, and I don't think it is. So I think this would be my point. I feel like there's still not enough, and there's still a lot of people that need to push this forward. And I think it's important because they're spreading this idea that, oh, now there's more attention paid to that, and I feel like that's a propaganda that I'm not falling for.
Absolutely, absolutely. Suzanne?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to go back to what Greg was saying just about the whole trans thing and about things, coming over here. We've got a certain Mr. President over over in the UK at the minute, which has been a very, very interesting. I actually walked down the Mall. You probably all, I don't know if you all know the Mall in front of Buckingham Palace, and it was just really interesting thinking that the president was over in all his beliefs, especially the trans beliefs. It just makes me angry, and maybe I shouldn't talk about it anymore.
Your emotions are valid, your experiences are valid, and we do thank
Yeah.
you for continuing that. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Tova, if you would like to give your
Sure. So some propaganda that I'm not falling for is that trans people are the problem
Hmm,
because trans people are a gift to this world.
hmm.
And some propaganda that I am falling for is that queer love is dangerous because it is dangerous to the power structures that are bad for everyone. So it's dangerous in all of the good ways.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Lauren, one last piece
Yeah.
for the folks watching.
Here's a propaganda I'm not falling for is that queer stories are niche or not
Mhm.
mainstream or like over in the corner. Queer stories, trans stories, these are human stories. And as people living in an ecosystem together, trying to treat each other well, we need to know and understanding as many of each other's stories as possible, in all senses. And that to me certainly includes queer and trans stories. And I say no to the media companies who have for too long acted like these are too niche or unprofitable or that they won't appeal to mainstream or flyover state audiences. Queer people are everywhere and everybody needs to learn about queer people.
I mean, words out of my mouth, Lauren. Thank you for that. Thank you all so much for joining. I just want to again just invite our audience and invite our folks to our screening here at the Midtown Arts Cinema. This is for October 1st at 3 p.m. Lasting Expressions is it's a phenomenal program. It has just a wide range of emotions and a wide range of stories that truly kind of leave a lasting impression. So I thank you all for making those films. These films are available and will be streaming. So please vote, vote, vote. And please get folks to get and be a part of the conversation. I know we got some folks from the UK and folks traveling aboard, but I'm so excited to get the rest of these films and showcase these amazing short blocks. It's incredible. Thank you all for your work and thanks again.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, I think Jason may have one more comment. Jace?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you on putting this block together. My future husband, we're fiancés, we have a wedding planned, but he's bringing his mom up, who was born and raised in small town Alabama, and he's bringing his mom up to like show her what queer media and queer art can look like, and it's just expanding her brain. And I can't thank you enough. I actually will
That
get
was
really emotional.
so sweet. No, I can't wait. No, I will be there. Jace, thank you so much. And again, yes, thank you all so, so, so very much. I know we have to cut this up, Jim, if you want to hit record, stop recording.